Hey, I got put on hold, but I was trying to see if I could speak to any of your drunk officers that like to kick cars. Are any of them on duty today? Hoping to chat with them, maybe for some tips about kicking passing cars, beating people up. Oh man, I just had a really long night with my friends from Billings PD and the Yellowstone Sheriffs. We went out and we were like drinking and kicking people's cars and picking fights and stuff and arresting people because they were trying to film. I think it's out. Sorry. I know this is okay. You know what? This is really unprofessional to do a video this way. I'm gonna go clean up and then I'll come back. We'll make a few calls and we'll just cover it. All right. I'll be back. 1 second. Cheers. That was unprofessional. But in all fairness, I wasn't actually out getting drunk and kicking cars with cops last night because I'm not a member. Let's call the sheriff's back, actually, see if we can get anybody.
Sheriff's office, how can I help you?
Oh, I might. Coming in from out of town to visit Yellowstone, and wondered if any of your deputies might be available to get drunk with me and kick people's cars and beat people up on the side of the road.
Okay, just 1 moment, and I'll get you connected.
Cool, appreciate. Are these people nice? They're so nice. I apologize again to all the actual Australians watching the video. I'm afraid we might get a voicemail.
I'm sorry, extension number 2947 didn't answer. You reached the
Okay, Tracy. Okay, Tracy. No sé qué hacer ahora, mate. Porque este acento australiano en español stop being fail. I really wanted to follow up to James Freeman's great investigation on Billings PD and Yellowstone Police Department. If there's one thing I've learned over the years, it's that whenever you have these small communities and people saying, oh no, we're a good Christian patriot community, you can 100% rest assured that the government, the cops, and the businessmen are all behind the scenes doing this to each other, and that there's massive corruption going on, that it's a good old boys club. Because I've heard this all my life. All of these sheriffs and police departments, they're all working for the same criminal organization. So James Freeman did this video on these Billings police who like to violate people's rights, like arresting them for cameras. Subject of a call.
So I need an ID.
I just told you I'm exercising my First Amendment right.
I'm telling you, if you don't give me an ID, I'm going to take you to jail for obstruction.
You see, these scumbags think that they can make up the law, that the First Amendment, the Second Amendment, the Fourth Amendment, the Fifth, the Sixth, etc., 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 does not apply to them. And while I do believe that there are young people that are bright and they say, no, I want to make the world a better place, I want to get into criminology, I want to stop bad guys, and they become cops, invariably they either become part of that criminal syndicate or they get fired or leave. And I've seen this happen over and over and over again. Now I'm going to link James's video below. I'm not going to re-summarize all of James's video. What provokes me to make a few calls today is that these drunk cops were out acting disorderly in 2022 Billings PD and Yellowstone Sheriff's Department.
Yellowstone County Sheriff's deputy picking fights with people outside of a bar. They stand in the middle of a parking lot and yell at people and kick their cars as they go by.
As always, James Freeman does excellent investigative reporting, but what I wanted to do today is thought, I'm going to go a little old school Gavin and just pick up the phone and call these people. Unfortunately, when James puts a video out, people get a lot of calls. If I had been the first caller, I probably would have got a lot more flack back from them. Let's watch.
You've reached the Billings Police Department. If this is an
City County Dispatch, this is Tom.
Hey, I got put on hold, but I was trying to see if I could speak to any of your drunk officers that like to kick cars. Are any of them on duty today?
Do you need to file a formal complaint? Because I can get you over to the unit that can take that for you.
No, I want to know if any of your officers are drunk on duty today, kicking cars or arresting people for filming or anything like that, like you guys like to do out there in Billings. That's what you do, right? Is you violate people's rights and kick them around.
Sir, this is just dispatch center. We don't run off.
Can you transfer me directly to the police department, bro? Because this is the number on their page. I'm not, I'm just trying to get a hold of the police department.
8436.
8436. Okay, I appreciate it, man. Take care. I don't know why. I gotta, look at that. I'm bleeding. And I'm not even near Billings. I got a little blood here. And I'm not even near the Billings PD.
Hello, you've reached voicemail of Captain Marty Harper with the Billings Police Department. I work Tuesday through Friday. If you would like to leave your name, number, and a brief...
This must be a PR guy. Hey, Cap. I was actually checking in today to see if I could talk to, if you have any officers in the department that are drunk and on duty today. I was hoping to chat with them, maybe for some tips about kicking passing cars, beating people up, arresting them for cameras. I'm also curious what kind of adult beverages they prefer to drink while they're on duty, and maybe while they're driving, and what do they feel gives them the most, like, I don't know, leg strength, I guess. I'm sure they're on steroids too, but what do they feel like it works best? Just for purely research purposes, of course, not because I want to break any laws. I just wanted to see if they can tell me what works best for kicking cars and threatening people and disorderly conduct and arresting people for exercising their rights and stuff like that while they're on duty. If they have a preference of beverage, maybe I can send them a 6 or something like that. So I'm going to check in with one of the other numbers, but maybe I can catch you over there, and we'll catch up later. All right, peace out. Especially now that my hair's combed, I feel very professional, and I feel like the Billings PD and the Yellowstone Sheriff's Department, while at this very moment they're out extorting and abusing people's rights, they've put people in the office that can efficiently transfer us to the voicemails of PR people. This is why I love it when people make videos and they put phone numbers and they put Facebook pages. I would love to see this happen more. In Mexico, when things are on camera like this, cops tend to go down fast. But that doesn't mean they're not thugs, as I've showed you in some of my videos, including of me getting arrested in Mexico. Amigo. I'll put a link to that down in the comments as well, because it was kind of interesting, even though they literally threw me out of the jail a few hours later. If you watch through James's video, you see these officers assaulting the victim that is in the vehicle, making his passenger get out of the car in an incident that they entirely instigated in their drunken and disorderly state. Ultimately, shots are fired. No one, I believe, is seriously injured. The man rightfully flees the scene to try to escape these psychopaths. As always, what I want to remind us is that this matters. But it's not about this, right? Whether I'm in the US or Mexico or Europe or the Czech Republic or Canada, people's rights are the same. When you elect people who think that they can lock people behind walls, that they can traffic human beings, that they can tell people whether they can travel and work and immigrate, when these are fundamental human rights, when you vote and support for fascists, when you make heroes out of people who rob and steal and lie and abuse, regardless of their party or their faction or anything, when you let criminals run your communities and run your government, you don't end up with your rights. Your constitutions are trampled, which, by the way, don't give you any rights. Constitutions are just there to codify those rights and remind people that they exist and make a law for government. Eventually, through their criminal acts, the police caused this man to crash and roll his car, destroying his property in every sense of the word. But aside from our basic rights and that police are liars and criminals, there's a really important point I want you to stop and think about. And that is actually my point in today's video. When you go to the press release that James talked about in this video from 2022, the original press release is the police, as always, painting a picture that some crazy person exchanged words and brandished a handgun, and they reached into the car to try and get the weapon, and during the struggle, the driver fired a shot, and then the deputy reeled back, and the deputies were heroes, and blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. The lies are always the same. These police, these law enforcement officers, instigated every part of this criminal action. Every part of it. And all they got was a reprimand for it. What did it cost the person that they attacked? His time. How much time did he spend in jail? How much time did he spend on lawyers? How much time lost? Property lost. And there's no accountability for them because they are a criminal cartel. That's why I call them Blue ISIS. And I want you to think back on your life for just a second. Because people often say I'm outrageous for saying no one in prison, whether they've done wrong or not, has been given a fair trial. The Fourth, the Fifth, and the Sixth Amendments are constantly ignored. You have people like Leonard Peltier still in prison. You have people like Rick Gerber. How many times did they try him? Amendment 5. Nor shall any person be subject for the same offense to be twice put in jeopardy of life or limb, nor shall be compelled in a criminal case to be witness against himself, nor be deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process of law. How many times do they try these people? Oftentimes they will try people 2, 3, 4 times, like they did with Rick Gerber, who's now sitting in a prison, because they simply tried him enough times until they found a jury dumb enough and manipulated enough to get a conviction. That's not law. And I want you to think back when you see these police press releases and they're saying so-and-so was drunk, so-and-so was trafficking drugs, so-and-so was an illegal immigrant. There's no such thing. So-and-so did something with a child. So-and-so pulled a gun. So-and-so tried to do something to Officer BS. See, every time they make these press releases, think of all the times in your life, even before you were awake, that you saw these kind of reports and then the news and you're like, well, that scumbag deserves to be in jail. He tried to kill grandmother, kid, cop, etc., etc. You are never getting the real story, except for when actual journalists, real investigative journalists, the few that are, people like James Freeman, people like myself, and others, go out and dig into that information. So yeah, just stop for a minute. Think about all the times in your life, most of them you probably don't even remember, that you believed what they told you in the news report, that you thought he deserved it. He deserves to be in prison. He deserves to be punished. Remember, 80% of what they told you in the story they crafted was always a lie. Maybe more, maybe 95%, maybe 99%. Remember that, and then stop and think how that connects to your cognitive dissonance of he deserved it. These people are bad. They deserve it. We need the restrictions. We need the laws. We need the courts. We need the prisons. How many people that are in there actually deserve it? Or how many of them are Jeff Winehouses, Leonard Peltiers, Schaefer Coxes? Name the names. You can drop them in the comments.
Yeah, hey, I was calling to see, I want to check in and see if any of your deputies that are drunk and on duty are in the office today to talk to them about some tips on kicking cars and stuff like that.
Okay, just a moment.
Cool. Maybe they actually have tips.
So even though today's video was a little lighthearted, as always, my message is to remind us all that rights matter for everybody, even the people that you don't like. And that we have to stand up for others and love our neighbors as ourselves. Peace, guys.